The sky over the stadium was cloudless. The air buzzed with the sound of cheers, whistles, and echoing footsteps on rubber. It was the final lap. The race was neck and neck, but not for the boy in lane 8. His name was Jake, and Jake didn't wear flashy spikes or branded sweatbands. He wore a pair of shoes that looked like they'd already run 100 races, because they had. No one expected anything from him. Not the coaches, not the crowd, not even the announcer who didn't bother saying his name. But Jake didn't come for their attention. He came for one thing only, to prove something to himself. Jake sat outside the school's athletic office, waiting for his turn to speak. Inside, Coach Harris was already shaking his head. No gear, no history, no team record, the coach said as Jake entered. Jake nodded, then calmly replied, "But I've got legs, and something to prove." Coach Harris sighed. "Tryouts are next week, but don't expect miracles." Jake didn't. He only expected the chance. Jake lived on the edge of town, where buses stopped running early and streetlights were optional. He and his mom shared a tiny apartment above a laundromat. Every dollar counted. He found his running shoes in a charity bin outside the church. They weren't pretty, but they fit. Sort of. Each morning, he ran before school, past empty lots, over cracked sidewalks, and through rising steam from manhole covers. He imagined a crowd watching, not to cheer him, but to remind him why he ran. Every time his lungs burned, he whispered, "I'm not done. I will prove myself." The field was packed with athletes in neon shoes and new gear. Jake lined up, his shoes duct-taped, shirt faded, and head high. The whistle blew. Jake ran like every insult he'd ever heard was chasing him. "Who is that?" someone asked. Coach Harris just stared. Jake didn't win, but he came close enough to be noticed, to be invited back. Weeks turned into months. Jake trained harder than everyone. He ran hills in the rain. He sprinted in the snow. He skipped parties, stayed late at the track, and studied tape of world champions on a borrowed tablet. He didn't have the best equipment, but he had obsession. He fixed his shoes with glue from the dollar store. He sewed his socks by hand. Other kids noticed. Some laughed. Some respected him. But Jake wasn't running for them. Then came regionals. The big one. Top runners from across the district. Crowds, cameras, recruiters. Jake stood at the starting line, alone in lane 8. He could hear his heartbeat, but louder than that was the voice in his head. "Run like you belong here. Run like you've already won." The gun fired. Jake exploded off the line. Not fastest, but fiercest. His shoes flapped. His legs screamed. Halfway through, he was in 5th, then 4th, 3rd. The crowd stood. Coaches leaned forward. Lane 8 was flying. The final turn. Jake was shoulder to shoulder with the top 2. They had everything: coaches, support, money. But Jake, he had something else. He had purpose. Final 20 meters. His vision blurred. His chest ached. His body screamed stop. But his soul whispered, "Not yet. You haven't proven it yet." Jake dived. Silence. Then the scoreboard lit up. First place, lane 8, Jake Turner, 4 minutes and 39.07 seconds. He lay on the track, shoes ripped open, socks torn, heart thundering. He didn't move. He just smiled. Coach Harris pushed through the crowd. "You didn't just prove yourself, kid," he said, voice breaking. "You changed the game." Jake looked up at the sky. "Maybe," he whispered, "but I did it for me." You don't need perfect conditions to become something great. You need heart. You need grit. You need to look in the mirror and say, "Let's prove it," again and again.